Hey everyone, I'm Reyna and welcome to a feel good or slow flow class. For this class, I recommend having a couple blocks, and if you'd like a little cushion for your knees, you know I like to spend some time on our knees, so I'd grab a blanket or just something if you have more tender knees. As always, this class is for you. It's really meant to empower your practice, to empower you in your body. So use these things as a framework. You can follow everything I'm saying. You can kind of explore within it. You can do nothing I'm saying. It's your practice. This is your time, and I want you to honor it. So we're going to get started today on our backs. So come to your back. Lie down. Give yourself a moment to settle in. And if you're someone like me, who's generally uncomfortable lying flat on their back, I like to prop my knees up with something. It takes some of the pressure off my lower back. And so I'm just putting my blocks under my knees, under my calf area. It doesn't really matter kind of where it is, as long as I have just a little lift. Cool, so propping that area up if you'd like, or you can simply bend your knees and put the soles of the feet on the ground. Bring your hands to the floor or maybe to your belly. Let the eyes close and begin to arrive. The first few minutes of a yoga class, I think sometimes are the most challenging because your mind is still moving really fast, your body may be fidgety, and we're often told to kind of fight that, like be still. So I encourage you to release the expectation of being still and just let your body settle and move as it needs to eventually find some stillness. Let your mind settle and move as it needs to, and maybe it'll find some stillness. Letting the bits and pieces of yourself that are kind of scattered around you in like a little bubble settle back in. Becoming aware of your body and the contact it's making, maybe with itself, but really with the earth under you. So just becoming aware of all these points of contact, all these connections you have with the ground, and how supported you are, how held you are. Every exhale lets you settle a little more deeply into the earth, as if you were in like a little pit of mud. It's kind of sinking. Beginning to observe your breath. No need to move it around or manipulate it. But seeing if you can just watch the rhythm of yourself today, the gentle inhale and exhale. And if you have anything under your knees, just try to slide it out of the way gracefully, unlike me. Legs long, reach the arms overhead, and feel free to keep your eyes closed, or if you need to take a peek at me, go for it. So arms extended overhead, legs out long, and just gently reaching through the fingertips. Not a big stretch quite yet. Just finding length from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Letting the breath fill you up. Then we'll come into banana. So walk your feet towards the right corner of your mat, and we'll make the body into a banana shape. So feet move towards the right, and then you walk your hands towards the right, so you have this crescent moon shape, this gentle curve to the body. And we just find some really soft side body opening here. And if you'd like, you can grab your left wrist with your right hand. You can also cross your left ankle over your right. But if you've ever had like sciatic issues or lower back issues, that can potentially aggravate it. So maybe see how it feels. And if it doesn't work, don't do it. It doesn't work for me, so I don't do it. You can let the right ear drop towards the ground. We'll take just a few more rounds of breath here. And releasing any crosses or grips you may have. Walk through center. Find a little stretch in the middle. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. And then walk the feet left. Walk the hands left. Finding banana. Gentle curve opening through the right side of the body. You can let the left ear kind of droop. And this is a super passive posture. And just because something is passive doesn't mean it's not effective. Good, coming back to center. Reach through the fingers and toes, maybe with a little more energy this time. Maybe the back lifts a little and a bit of a back bend. Kind of those good morning stretches. Good. Begin to pull the knees towards the chest. Reach the arms up and have the hands meet the knees. Maybe the backs of the thighs, maybe the tops of the shins, and just rock yourself a little side to side. Taking little circles maybe with the knees. Good. And eyes can still be closed, or you can open them, having a soft gaze. Yeah, then get a little grip on your legs, and we'll start to rock up and down, forward and back along the spine, giving yourself a little massage and also building some momentum, because after about 5 rocks, we'll come up to a seat. And feel free to use your hands, but I like to just kind of throw myself forward, and it's fun to do with your eyes closed because you just gotta trust your body. Eventually coming up to a cross-legged seat. And if the eyes opened in that time, that's okay. Soften them once again, bringing the hands to the knees, finding this comfortable cross-legged position. Sitting up tall, taking a few breaths here. Beginning our Sufi circles, eyes closed or open. Start to circle the chest around the lower body. If you've practiced with me, good chances you've done this before. But just really letting the chest find its flow here. Circles can be big or small. And then switching direction. And slowly dissolving the circles, bringing them back to center. On an inhale, sweep the arms overhead, press the palms together. Exhale as you slide the hands down the center line of the body so they rest in front of the chest, Anjali Mudra, gently pressing the thumbs into the sternum, feeling your heartbeat. If you'd like to set an intention for your class today, this is a great time. Release the hands to the lap or to the knees, slowly blinking the eyes open, taking in the light. Giving yourself a little space, moving any blocks out of the way, and I'm putting them behind me, just in case I need them there. You'll see why. Centering myself on my mat, you stay where you are. Bring the hands behind you, pressing into the floor, or maybe blocks if the floor is just feeling a little far away today. Whatever you need to do to keep your chest upright. So we don't want to hunch, we don't want to lean too far back. We want to try to stay pretty upright, so blocks can be helpful. Extend the legs out, heels to the earth, knees bent. Good. Keeping a fold in our hip crease. Start to drop the legs to the right. And as you see, none of my leg is touching the ground. And that's totally fine. I'm not warm yet. It's cool. So just keeping the legs to the right, keeping the chest as center as is comfortable for the hips. Move through center, and then drop to the left. And as you can see, still nothing is touching the ground. That's totally fine. On an inhale this time, come to center. Exhale, drop right. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. One more. Inhale to center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Good. Come to center. Inhale. This time exhale, drop the legs right. Let the chest spin. Find deer pose. Legs are at roughly 90-degree angles, maybe a little bit smaller. Good. Hands are framing the body. Start to walk them forward and take a little fold. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good. Walk the hands back. Right hand comes behind the body. Circle the left hand behind the body. Legs to center. Inhale. Exhale, drop them left. Turn the chest. Find deer pose on the opposite side. And start to fold over the left leg. Good. Breathing here for 3. For 2. Good. Sweep the right hand behind the body, legs come to center. Slide the feet in slightly. Just going to turn at an angle. Slide the feet in slightly. Press the hands to the earth. Fingers face out. On an inhale, reverse tabletop. Press the hips up to the sky. Head can stay at neutral, or if it feels good on the neck, you can drop it back, but it doesn't feel good on my neck. Holding here for 3. Good. Use your glutes. For 2. Good. Lower back down. Give the knees a little hug. You can wrap around. You can put the hands on the shins. Good. One more. Bring the hands behind the body, fingers face out. On an inhale, press the hips up. Use the glute muscles. Reverse table for 3. Pressing into the thumb for 2. Good. Lower down. Give yourself a little squeeze. Beautiful. And we'll come into downward facing dog. So swing the legs around. Take a moment. There's really no rush. Set yourself up. Give those hands a nice grip of the earth. Tuck the toes, and then not just using the knees, press the hands into the earth, push your hips up and back. Allow the knees to stay bent. Downward facing dog. Wrapping the triceps under the body, biceps forward. A gentle hug of the belly in. A generous bend of the knees. Find length in the spine. Breathing here for 3, for 2, last one. Good, roll forward into tabletop. Untuck your toes, maybe walk the hands in slightly. And we'll take a couple rounds of drunk cat-cow. So just really finding cat-cow, but making it your own, being swoopy and whirly and juicy with it. So on an inhale, find your cow. Exhale into cat. Inhaling into cow. And exhale, cat. So take these rounds on your own. Really finding what feels good. And a few people have asked me, how do I practice at home by myself? How do I practice without a video? These moments, this is how, starting to build that bodily awareness, starting to make some of these moves your own, and not necessarily changing the posture, but just finding how it works for you, what feels good about it. Because as you build awareness in one move, you'll start to build awareness in others. Good. Taking a few more rounds. And eventually coming back to center. Good. Walk the hands towards the body and sit the hips back onto the heels. If this posture is really uncomfortable for you, maybe take a block or two, slide it under the butt. I can say with practice, this does become more available. Beautiful. Take the hands out in front of you. Rev the motorcycle, giving our wrists a little love. Flip the hands to face you. Kind of like a T-Rex boxing. Good. Flip the hands back towards the earth. Extend the fingers out. Flex up and down. Good. Come to center. Do side to side. Now make circles and try to go slow. Try not to let the wrist rotate, the forearm, and hit every range of motion you can. Switch your direction. Good. Interlace the fingers, ride the roller coaster. Try to switch the roller coaster's direction. I find it very challenging. Good. Flip the palms out in front of you. Try to press the fingers into each other. Good. Release. Give everything a little shake. Beautiful. Coming back to tabletop. Extend the left leg out to the side. As if you were on a clock, head was facing 12. Left foot extends out to 9. Maybe walk the hands in slightly. You can press onto the fingertips as well, or use blocks if you feel like you're kind of hovering or having a hard time being on the wrists right now. Good. Your left toes face forward or forward-ish. They might need to go out a little bit, but we don't want them totally out to the side. So left toes are facing forward-ish, pressing the pinky edge really firmly into the ground and really solidifying the outer line of the leg. On an inhale, find cow pose and stay right there. Start to rock forward and back. And these are little rocks. So when you rock back, there's gonna be a certain point where you feel your ass start to tuck under you, and that's too far. We wanna make sure it stays up and out as we rock. Good, breathing here for 3. For 2. Good, coming back to center. Now let your toes spin out. The foot may slide in a bit, let the knee bend, left knee, and start to rock forward and back. Just pulsing. And these pulses can be fast, they can be slow, big or small. Again, seeing what feels good. Okay, come back to center. Walk the hands towards the body. Press the feet into the earth. Come up, upright. Good. And then fix your toes a little bit. So we want the toes facing right out. Knee will track towards like the middle toe. Extend the arms long. Warrior 2, essentially, on your knee. And start to pulse a little up here. Again, small little pulses. Letting yourself settle in. Good. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Fingertips press to the ground, maybe a block, or maybe forearm to the thigh. Reach the right arm high, finding this kneeling side angle. Really pressing your arm into the inside of your leg and your leg into the inside of your arm. Breathing here for 3. For 2. Good. Coming up, hands to the hips. Good. Extend the left leg long and turn the toes front once again. Good. Arms out to the side. Drop the left hand to the outside of the left leg. Reach the right arm overhead for gate pose. Staying just like this, I'm just going to turn and face you all because I think you'll have a better angle that way. Cool, so left leg is still out for gate pose. You can look down towards your left foot. Right arm reaches long, finding space between the shoulders and the earlobes for 3. For 2. Good. Come on up, extend the arms out long, and here's where we have a little fun. Right hand drops to the earth. Press the thumb into the ground. Externally rotate the arm. So I open it up. Reach the left arm high for a little side plank here. If you'd like, you can lift the left toes off the ground. Totally optional. Drop the left hand behind the base of the skull, or to the base of the skull. Start to spin the chest towards the sky. Little chest opener here. And again, toes can be up, toes can be down. If you want to get more into the chest opener, toes down is a really good option. Good. For 3. For 2. Good. Slowly start to come back up. Bring the hands back down in front of you. Good. One last move here. Start to sit the hips all the way back for an extended leg child's pose. Stack the forearms. Rest the head onto the forearms. And if this is not available to come all the way down, you can be a little bit higher and up on your forearms like this, or you can stay in a little lean, similar to what we were doing earlier, with your hands pressing to the earth. Breathing here for 3. For 2. Good. Slowly coming up. Slide the left leg in. Tuck the toes and take a downward facing dog. Bending the knees, pedaling the feet. And if you're like, my right knee's feeling a little sore, this may be a great moment to grab a blanket, because we still have to do the other side. Good, so roll forward, find tabletop. And once again, going to turn towards you. Extend the right leg out to the side towards 3 o'clock. Toes face forward-ish. Maybe walk the hands in, prop them up. Pinky edge presses into the earth. On an inhale, find cow. Stay right there and start to rock. Good, and again, these movements can be really small. They don't have to be big to be effective. So tapping into what feels good for you. Staying active in your hands here. So still trying to grip the earth, especially if you feel like your wrists kind of hurt. Activate your hands. Try to draw energy up from the ground so we can kind of counteract the weight being pressed down. Okay, come back to center. Now allow the right toes to turn out. Maybe the foot slides in slightly, knee bends, and just pulse forward and back. Bending and straightening the right leg. And I promise we will stand up soon. Good, coming back to neutral. Start to walk the hands in towards the body. Substantiate yourself with your legs. Come up, and then readjust your right leg, sliding it in slightly. Toes really facing out. Knee tracks towards like the middle toe. Extend the arms long for this kneeling warrior 2. And then just start to bend and straighten. Really just bend a little more deeply into the hips, I should say. Taking a few rounds here. Okay, then finding some stillness. Good. Right hand drops to the inside of the right foot. Fingertips press down, earth or a block, or hand to forearm, or forearm to thigh. Reach the left arm high for this side angle. Really pushing arm into leg, leg into arm. Finding space in between the shoulders and the earlobes. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good. On an inhale, come up, arms stay extended. Extend the right leg, turn the toes back forward-ish. Drop the right hand to the right leg, left arm overhead, gate pose. Staying really active in our arms here. So my right fingers are pushing on the leg, finding lift through the side of the body. Left arm's reaching overhead. I'm not crunching. I'm not passively kind of hanging here. Very active. The core is engaged. I'm pulling up in the lower belly. Good. On an inhale, come up. Exhale, drop the left hand to the earth. Really press the thumb in. Externally rotate the left arm. Reach the right arm high. Side plank. Everything's active, everything's turned on here. Because if it wasn't, I would be kind of like wobbling a lot. Really press the ground away, lift the chest, reach through the right fingertips. Feel free to lift the right toes. Good. And then drop the right hand behind the head. Find a little chest opener. For 3, for 2, good. On an inhale, come back up, good. Exhale, hands to the earth. Start to sit the hips back, one last move, this kind of extended leg child's pose, and just find your version. I like to stack the forearms and rest the forehead. You can stay on the forearms, or you can stay up and find a little tilt backwards. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good. Coming up, slide the right leg in, and then make your way into downward facing dog. Look between the hands and start to walk or step your feet into your forward fold at the top of your mat. Feet about hips distance apart, maybe a little more. Just making space for yourself. Knees bend, head and shoulders hang heavy. Grab the elbows with the hands. Start to ragdoll side to side. Good, slowly coming back to center. On an inhale, begin to roll up to standing and taking your time. We've been on the ground for a while. You've been in a forward fold. So head and shoulders are the last to rise. Arms hang by the side. Taking a few rounds of breath to adjust to this new level. Adjust your clothes, adjust yourself. Just your expectations. Good. On an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, soft bend to the knees. Cactus the arms out to the side, finding a gentle back bend, letting the chest lift. Good. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, straighten the legs. Exhale, cactus the arms wide, finding a soft bend to the knee. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side. Holding here for 3. For 2. Good. Start to gather everything towards the center. Slowly. Inhale. Exhale, open the arms out wide again. Good. Inhale, gather to the center. Exhale, open the arms wide. Good. 3 more. Inhale to the center. Spine rounds slightly. Exhale, open the arms out wide. Inhale to the center. Exhale, open the arms out wide. Good. Last one. Inhale, center. Exhale, open the arms wide. Good. Start to reach the hands behind the back, letting them rest on the lower back or interlacing the fingers. On an inhale, press hands into lower back or pull towards the earth. Standing back here, squeeze the spine with the shoulder blades. Press forward, press your hips forward. Knees can bend. For 3. For 2. Take a breath in. Exhale, come up out of the back bend. Release the arms by the side. Give the hands a little shake. Good. Taking a moment, check in with your feet. We still want them about hips distance apart. I'm just going to turn to face y'all. Good. And we'll come into tree pose next. So have a block nearby. You'll see why in just a sec. But I'm going to have mine right in front of me. Good. Beautiful. So keep the arms by the side. Start to lean your weight into your left foot, keeping a soft bend of the left knee, but really like drawing the energy up from the earth. Hover the right foot off the ground. Good. Start to turn the toes out so the heel faces in. Good. Bring your heel to your inside of your ankle. Keep balancing, and then start to draw the heel up the inside of the leg. I like to stay just under my knee. I feel like the shape of my foot fits really well on my calf. And so this is a great option. If this feels like a little more than you'd like, you can use the block. Rest your toes on the block. And you can even bring it a little more inside the leg for a tree pose here. So a couple options. If you're still balancing, cool, keep going. Good. Bring the hands to heart center. Use the right glute to open the knee out. Maybe you reach the arms overhead, opening them up wide. Good. And regardless of where your foot is, if you really want to challenge the ego, challenge the balance, try closing your eyes. And you'll find a whole new level of challenge here. Breathing in our tree for 3, for 2. Press the hands together first. If they're up, slide them to heart center. Good. Then slowly bring the right foot to the ground. Good. Give the legs a little shake. Release the arms by the side. And now we know where we're going, so I'll talk a little less. So start to lean your weight into your right foot. And hover the left off the ground. You're sucking your thigh bone, your femur, up into your hip socket. Good. And then externally rotate from the hip, turn the right toes out. Good. Pull the leg in, let the knee bend. Heel comes to the inside of the leg, and then start to slide it up. And you can go as high as is available. This is what's available to me. Use your glute, open the knee, and then slowly bring your hands to your heart center. Maybe you're using the block, beautiful option. Engaging the core. Stay right here, or reach the arms overhead. Maybe you open them out wide. Taking a few breaths here. Feeling strong, feeling stable. Balancing is not easy. And especially if you're looking to start a balancing practice, tree is a great place to do that. It is challenging. Finding space between your earlobes and your shoulders. For 3. For 2. Good. If the hands are open, press them together. Slide them down. And slowly release the foot to the earth. Release the arms by the side. Give yourself a little shake. Take the feet a little wider than hips distance. Bend the knees. Give yourself a little bounce. And then start to sway the arms around the body. Finding these lovely little twists. Good. Letting the motion slowly dissolve. Coming back to center. Turning the toes out. Keeping the feet hips distance, maybe a little more than hips distance. We'll come into Malasana, Garland pose, Yogi squat. So have your blocks, you may want to have your blocks nearby. Start to sit the hips down, knees move out. So with your blocks, you can have them in front of you, under your hands, you can have them under your butt, especially if you're a bit higher in your squat, hands are a great option. You can also sit all the way down to the ground and take this position similar to the one we had in the beginning of class with the knees bent and the butt on the ground. Good. So wherever you are, reach the left hand out to the ground, maybe out to the side, right arm opens high. Just an open twist here. we'll switch, come through center. Right arm reaches out, left arm opens high, open twist. Good, one more on each side. Come through center, open the right arm. Good, come through center, open the left arm. And I always feel like a little sorcerer when I do something like this. Good, come through center. And then, however you'd like to, you will get to your butt. So I just place a hand down, sit onto my bottom, bring the soles of your feet together, rock a little, get the sit bones really grounded to the earth, as if you were like straddling a big pipe or a horse. All the areas that would be sore is what we're looking to try to get to the ground. Good. Walk the feet in, a nice tight Badakanasana here, bound butterfly, sit up nice and tall, and then find a little fold. When I say little, I truly mean it can be, a centimeter. As long as you're feeling something, it's really the most important part. Good, coming up. Beautiful. Extend the legs out in front of you. Give yourself a little shake. And if you feel kind of like stuck under yourself, the first thing you can do is pull the flesh out to the sides. Root down. Second thing you can do is slide a couple blocks, a blanket, a pillow, your mat. You can roll it up and put it under your butt to lift the hips. Good. Bend the left leg, sole of the foot comes to the earth, and this may be kind of further out for some people, depending on your body, maybe closer in. Mine's just about here, and that feels good. You can have a block in between your knees, or you can bring your hand to the outside of your left knee. Good. Left hand comes behind you, and we're just finding a gentle twist here. And so if there's a lot of body going on here, it may be harder to find leverage on the knee, and that's where the block comes in handy. So a couple options, and this doesn't have to be fancy, just really kind of finding something that feels good, something in opposition to what we have been doing. Keeping the right foot active, so like you're trying to stand on air for 3, for 2, back to center. Move the block out of the way, let the left knee open, pull the left foot up, so it's on the inside of the right thigh, and now we're in almost like a seated tree pose. So really stand on air with the right foot, inhale, arms overhead, exhale, start to fold forward, hands come to the earth, can come to blocks, and if you're using blocks, there is an acceptance that they sometimes are just awkward. Sometimes you have to reach for them, and it just becomes part of your flow. It doesn't have to, it won't always be like this weird, unnatural thing. It's just part of your practice. It's part of my practice, and it's awesome. It's a great way to tailor your practice to yourself. Good, breathing here for 3, for 2. Good, walk the hands back up and in. Right hand, left knee. A little different of a twist this time, a little more space maybe. And again, you can put your hand on your leg, you can put the hand on the floor if the knee's not quite available. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good, come back to center. Scoot the blocks to the side if they're there. And then we'll just switch sides. So extend the left leg long, right knee bends, left hand finds its spot of its point of leverage. Reach the right hand behind you, and then find your twist. As you can see with me, my arm doesn't cross my body. It's really compressive, it's really uncomfortable, and so I don't do it. I wrap my arm around the outside of my knee and then pull from there. Your inhales grow you taller, and maybe your exhales twist you a little deeper. Twisting the head. Twisting even from the eyes, so looking into the corners. For 3. For 2. Good. Come to center. Right knee opens out. Right foot comes up a bit to the inside of the left thigh. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Keeping that left foot active. Slowly coming up, moving the blocks to the sides, and extend your legs out in front of you. Give yourself a little shake here. Okay. And then you'll take your blocks, and we're going to line them up in a T shape. And you can pick any setting you'd like. I like the middle setting. So the block will go right here in the middle setting, and this will go in between my shoulder blades. My next block, I also like to be level, but you can drop it to the lowest setting to get more throat opening, highest setting to keep you kind of at a nice line. But I just like to be even. Good. And then once you set this up, acknowledging that you may have to shift it, you're going to lay over it. So like I said, this lower block will go in between your shoulder blades. And then the second block will go under your head. And if you haven't done this before, I encourage you to see what settings you like. You can keep the knees bent, or if you want to kind of open the front line of the body a little more, hip flexors, you can extend the legs long for a supported fish pose. Arms can go out to the side. Taking a few breaths just like this. We started in some yin postures with banana, and we're ending with some yin postures. And slowly, you can lean to one side, remove the blocks, and then lay down on your back, making any adjustments that may feel good. The body grow heavy, eyes can stay closed. Coming into our final rest, our Shavasana. Finding big, long inhales and full, complete exhales. Maybe you find an anchor, a word, a mantra, your breath, just something to hold you present to your mat, to this moment. Recognizing that all this physicality, all this movement,
This asana practice ideally is created to prepare us for stillness, for meditation, for liberation of ourselves from our mind, from the chaos that can sometimes be in there. We'll spend a few minutes here to be still, to be quiet. Beginning to deepen the breath. And starting to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Maybe you start to rock a little side to side. Bring your hands to your body. Maybe reach the arms overhead. Just finding any cat in the sun kind of stretches that may feel good. And then in your time, maybe finding a couple twists or making your way onto one side into a fetal shape, just allowing your energy to shift. Slowly making your way up to a seated position. However you choose to get there. And allowing the eyes to close or to remain closed. Hands can rest on the thighs. And allowing yourself to just sit. Kind of the residue of your practice, of your efforts. Begin to rub the hands along the thighs, create a little heat, a little friction. Inhale the arms overhead, palms face each other, slowly drawing them together. And sliding them down the center line of the body. Maybe grazing the third eye, Ajna chakra, the nose, the lips, the chin, until they gently press against the sternum. Feeling the heartbeat. And the hands and the heart connect, hands being an extension of the heart. Take a moment to thank yourself for creating the time and space to take care of your body, your breath, maybe your mind. A moment to thank your body for being amazing and for holding you in this world. I encourage you to find as many moments as you can to be in awe of yourself. Small drop of the chin towards the chest and a lift of the thumbs to that third eye, if you'd like. Thank you so much for practicing with me and for letting me guide and inform you. It's an honor, truly, truly an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.